I'm about to play the video, but some people are mad at Drake because he gave away his money to women during his event to celebrate women. Crazy. You see, some people didn't look into the giveaway and think that Drake just gave money away to OF models and people he's trying to crack, when in fact, it was multiple business owners and women who run multiple programs that are targeted to helping women that have suffered from abuse or other predicaments. I will never let that man breathe. It's so bad to the point, even on Kalshi just predicted that this man is not gonna win top artist on Spotify this year. And then you should ask yourself, why are you so upset about what another man does with his money? He's donating to causes, but some of you are not happy at what causes he's donating to. Why don't you donate? I feel like no matter what Drake does, y'all finna get mad. I'm about.
Hello.
Wow.
Wow, I've had this dream before. Hi, how are you? What's going on? Wow, okay. This is probably not gonna go over well here.
Hi.
How are you?
Lena.
Nice to finally
Oh,
meet
yeah,
you.
I recognize you.
Hello.
So do I.
How's everyone?
Wow.
That was a weirdly long hug.
I just like that moment. It's been coming.
It's been lingering.
What do you do for work?
I make porn.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we like a confident woman.
And
That's
she's well
passionate
aware
about.
of
Yeah.
her job title.
Yeah. Well, you have a husband. Why are you here?
Wait, hold on. Actually, can someone hold this for me?
I can. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right.
Lena, right this way.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
the intro.
You guys are
We're
gonna have a
go on
date later.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valley Camp here in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it could be edifying. And I'm going to title this video, Through the Spirit. All right. You women, man. All right. Don't let Drake get you goddamn fucked up out here, man. All right. I'll clean it up. You know, it's early in the morning, but you know, I wake up and before I head to work, I'm just scrolling on Twitter. You know, you got things going on in the world, and then I go to TikTok, and this is what comes up. All right. So Drake has been on this campaign, I guess, these last couple months. And Drake is known to be a trick, you know, if you don't know what a trick is. You know, what they also say, it ain't tricking if you got it. All right. Drake clearly has the substance. Okay, he lives like a modern king. You know, he has the money. He's not tethered to, you know, one woman. He's not like your Jay-Z, you know, and shit like that, where, you know, he's in a power couple structure or something like that. Even Kanye West, you know, pretty much tethers himself to one woman. You know, he was with Kim Kardashian, and now he with this other woman. And hell, she looks like Kim Kardashian. So, you know, but you got Drake right here, you know, which he's an Israelite. He's an Israelite man. All right, although he's light-skinned, you know, his father is you know, a dark-skinned so-called black man. Okay? I think he might be Haitian or something like that. I can't remember, but his father is definitely a Southern Kingdom man. You know, and Drake even has a son, you know, with a porn star. You know, how ironic is that? And, you know, and Drake's son is also an Israelite. Okay? You know, the father carries the seed. But nonetheless, you know, Drake gonna have you women, you know, believing that there's always gonna be, you know, somebody to come save you. All right, even though, you know, you move around the world and move around this life like a whore. Okay, that's just the truth of the matter. All right, if you want to get offended, if you're a woman, if you clicked on this video, you know, you just curious, man, go watch fucking Shira 7 or somebody. You know, go watch somebody that's gonna tickle your fucking ears. Cause we do these videos for edification, you know, for the body. All right, there are sisters out there that, you know, do have a spirit to be saved. Right? But like our elders and apostles, brothers on down, have said, most of you women aren't going to make it. Okay? The majority of the 2/3 will be women. You know, and the vintage is going to fail. All right? Now, this ain't a video to get all on Drake and shit like that. He going to do what he going to do. However, him being in the public eye as he is, you know, and could be literally with any woman, you know, he wants. All right? He has this weird, you know, stigma around, you know, women that already belong to men, which is adultery. Okay? You know, just separate the artist from, you know, the man for a second. All right? Because I do like Drake's music. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, I'm still bumping Iceman. But him, you know, since these albums have dropped, I've noticed he's been, like you saw the first video.
The first.
Right
I'm
here.
about to play the video, but
You
some
know, he
people
had
are
this, party and shit like that. You know, he had another party called, you know, Janice, I'm sorry, and shit like that. You know, Drake can get away with calling you women bitches, you know, or degrading you women, and you women still gonna show up for Drake. You know, he makes the music for the girlies, you know, for the baddies, so to speak. Okay? But nonetheless, as you can see, you know, he's out here in public, you know, in the open, you know, giving these women money and cars and stuff like that, you know, and that's just a microcosm because it's only a few women that are getting affected by this, you know. But think about what it does to the hive mindset of women. You know, it makes them think that, you know, hey, I can always upgrade a man. You know, it don't matter what I do, long as I got the look, long as I got an ass. You know, I can trade out this man for another. And as you can see right here, whether this was for publicity, which it more than likely was, you know, the imagery of it is what's so damning. Okay, Lena the Plug, if you don't know who Lena the Plug is, she is the wife of Adam 22. All right. And what is Lena known for? And she said it herself, she does porn. You know, which the scriptures say, she that liveth in pleasures is dead while she liveth. Okay? You know, and she don't look like any other, bro, she looks like every other damn woman. This chick is in her 30s. You know, I'm not gonna say she's unattractive. All right, but damn, the world is full of attractive women. Full of them. You know? Again, this is for publicity. Drake did that shit with Bobby Altoff or whatever too. You know, probably cracked her. Probably cracked Sexy Red. You know, Drake got he like a variety of women. All right, but he has this affinity for going with women that belong with other men. To me, this chick doesn't look any different from his baby mother. You know? Like, come on, man. But again, I want to look at the imagery of this because, as you can see,
Wow.
Wow, I've had this dream before.
you know, she coming up one time. All right, she represents all you women, man. You women, whether you got a man or not, if Drake was to pull up on you, you know, you going. Why? Because Drake represents, you know, that 1% man, that top tier man on this side. You know, he has the power, he got the money. You know, he can change a chick's life. He can upgrade a chick. And even, you know, Lena's acting like this. She got plowed by Jason Love, man. You know, she already has this horrid spirit on her. You know, and Adam 22 is a damn cuck. All right, but look how she went and jumped into Drake's arms, and Drake is sitting there like I've been dreaming about this, you know? Nigga, you can have any woman you want. You know? See, that's the difference between this kingdom and the kingdom we're about to inherit, because we're not going to, you know, be dealing with women that have dealt with man before. All right, all of the women we deal with in the kingdom will be virgins. All right, this is such a defiled, fucking evil ass world And nobody has anything to say about this. Not for real. Let's see what these comments say. Somebody said, I had this dream before Drake. See, they wanna pop this Lena chick. And she's aging. She's aging out. You know? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a freaky woman, but she's supposed to be freaky for her man. And her man alone. Let's not forget that. All right, these women have been given the liberty by Esau Edom to move about as whores and sluts on the earth. All right, but the end thereof, the vintage is going to fail you women so hard. So hard, man. Keep letting Drake hype you fucking women's head up, man. All right, because you got many Drakes. You know, no pun intended. But you have you got miniature versions of these Drakes out here in every city, you know, that's gonna spend it on a woman. Or he don't care if she already got a man, or that he don't make as much as me, you know. And you women are wonton. The Lord already got in you women about that, especially of our women. That's why he put particular curses on you for being wonton and being proud and walking forth with stretched forth necks. All right, the Lord hates a proud look. All right, the Lord doesn't care that you're a beautiful woman. The Lord gonna start taking you women out, man. All right, there's already been a couple women that have been put to death. You know, because there's a misconception that just because a woman is pretty that she can't be judged, and that's just not the case, man. You know, let me play this through again.
Hi, how are you? What's going on? Wow, okay. This is probably not going to go over well here.
Hi.
How are you?
Lena.
Nice to finally
Oh,
meet
yeah, I
you.
recognize you.
Hello.
So do I.
How's everyone?
Wow.
That was a weirdly long hug.
I just like at that moment. It's been kind of
This is a whore. This is a whore, man. All right, the scriptures say there's a way that seemeth upright to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Okay, and that's for her and for him, because he has this spirit, and he empowers this spirit within these women. You know, best believe probably 80-90% of the female population in America will act just like this, whether they had a man or not, when they come amongst Jake. One time. And again, this might be for publicity. I think it is. All right, but that imagery is so strong, man. All right, they be putting that out there, you know, and it's fucking up these young women's mind. You got OnlyFans out here, you know, and that's all they're doing. These young women aren't even trying to like have a genuine connection with men. They've been trained through the internet to see men as a ATM to extract from, you know, and Drake is helping that, you know. Drake not a bad looking dude or nothing like that to where he just has to lean on his money. All right, but you know, he has such an abundance of money, you know, that he can be, you know, he can spread his money around, you know, and get tax write-offs for the cars and the money that he gives out to these women and shit like that. You know, he ain't thinking about, you know, curing world hunger or no shit like that. Again, it's the imagery of it in today's society. But this is going to come to a head. You know, this is going to come to a head. Let's get some scriptures, man. You know, because I'm, you know, choosing my words carefully. This is Sirach chapter 26 and verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. All these women go and get their lashes done. They wear the little eyeshadow above their eyes. All right, and most of these women in 2026, man, they got a look to them. They got a similar look. All right, baddies got a look to them. Okay, a baddie isn't rare. You know, society try to tell you that these women and their beauty is rare, man. No, man, beauty isn't rare, and it's not new. You know, there's been beautiful women since a woman was supposed to be. The Lord created a woman to be beautiful. All right, because she's a possession to the man. All right, but to her husband, not to every man. Verse 10, it says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And that's what these women have done. They've abused themselves. They get these fucking septum rings. They get these tattoos all over their body, which is off. They go in, you know, they don't cleave into the man. And, you know, I blame the man too. All right, a man, when you take a woman's virginity, you know, you're supposed to, you know, that's supposed to be your wife. You ain't supposed to put her away, you know. But in high school, you know, you got a guy that takes a, we were in school before, you know. Let's be adults about this shit, you know. You had a dude, he took a chick's virginity or some shit. You know, he on this player shit, you know, and oh, she's being clingy. Well, she's supposed to. She's supposed to. She's pair bond to that man. But see, these women have so many bodies on them. You know, you'll meet a chick even in her early 20s. She's not a virgin. You know, she already done caught multiple bodies. And like J. Cole said, she says she only fucked by two or three dudes. You got to multiply by 3. That's all these women out here, man. Especially on social media. Now, does the Lord have the elect lady out here? All right, absolutely. The scripture said. All right, are there women out here that might have partaken in this life just like we partook in sin and iniquity before the Lord woke us up? You know, are there women, you know, out there that may have partaken in this life and then repented? Yes. All right, but women don't have the same willpower that a man has, man. That's just truth. You know, women be folding the pressure like it's nothing. You know, and it's harder for these women to want to seek the Lord when they got all the liberty. They have the choice now you can either be a whore or you could be a virtuous woman. Guess what they're choosing? They're not choosing to be virtuous women. Look what they wear. They try to say there's nothing wrong with how they dress and stuff, you know. These women choose not to wear any clothes because society has allowed them to not have to wear any clothes. Esau has allowed them not to respect the man in the house, not to respect their fathers, not to respect their husbands, to divorce that man and take his money. Like Luka Doncic, you know, his ex-fiance or whatever, she's trying to get $50 million out this nigga, man. See, these women have been engineered to only extract. All right, and when men pull away, then you women are like, oh, where did all the men go? See, you know, that's what I'm saying. Going back to this Drake video, you know, yeah, you'll have a very, 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 very small population of women that, you know, come in proximity, you know, with Drake. You know, they might get fucked on. You know, they might get a little bit of money. All right, but that money, you know, that shit's gonna go away. Drake not offering you women no lasting fucking relationships or no shit like that. All right, but now your expectations are so fucking high. You know, like I had saw, it was like, damn, you know, Drake, you know, done raised the bar for you niggas. You know, and if you gotta sit here and just buy a bitch's love, you know, you're never gonna buy her love. She's not gonna respect you based on how much money you spend on her. Because it's always another man that can go and spend more. All right, again, that's why the Lord has to come and destroy this place, because it's already too far gone. It's fucked up beyond all repair. All right, but how do you think, again, the average woman that's seeing videos like this thinking like, oh damn, I can get a baller. All I gotta do is dress like this and act like this, you know, and I can get me one. But the scriptures say, keep her ass in straightly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Verse 11, it says, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. And how do we know? Going all the way back to the garden. All right, the Heavenly Father paired up Eve with Adam, you know, because the Lord said it was not good for man to be alone. And what happened? Who did the serpent go to first? He went to Eve. All right, and we fell via the woman. All right, but she got enticed, even though everything the Lord set forth was perfect. You know, we weren't even designed to die, but through envy of the devil, sin came into the world via the woman, via the weaker vessel. Ooh, you know what? You mean to tell me I can rule too? I can be out here. I don't have to be tethered to a man. Best believe, more than likely, man, the serpent showed Eve Babylon, how they would be able to live in Babylon. And she was like, yeah, I'll go for that. You know, not having to be tethered to a man. But see, it says she went and gave Adam, you know, she fed that shit to Adam, and Adam got to eating on it too. You know, now it was all for a purpose. Now we understand good and evil. And Salakia, you know, these cars are going by, but, you know, Lord willing, this mic, you know, is catching my voice. You know, hey, we falling. All right, but the Lord is about to set up perfection. Says, marvel not if she trespass against thee. Don't get all bent out of shape about these women. And it's easier said than done. You know, we've all had our share of, you know, a bitch breaking our heart, you know. But to understand how female nature is now, you know, Esau got the mind of these women. Like Kanye said, Instagram got your bitch. All right, they designed Instagram and social media and shit to be enticing because attention is a hell of a drug, man. See, we don't look at attention the same way women look at attention, man. They look at that shit as currency. You know, all these DMs, all these messages, all these niggas willing to spend money on them. They think they have all these options, but they phase out. And then in their 30s and 40s and shit, when they realize, like, damn, nobody married me, nobody, you know, settled down with me, they realize, like, damn, that wasn't, you know, they fully won't humble down, but damn, that wasn't the right choice. Why? Because the serpent gave them the false ideal that somebody was always gonna come save their ass, including the damn government. You know, he's giving them food stamps, he's giving them goodies. He's rewarded rebellion. So of course these women are going to be rebellious, but the Lord is about to pull all that shit back, man. Verse 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain, and drank of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. It's been a little while since I brought that out, but that's how these women are. The Lord told us warned us of these women's nature all the way back when. That's why the Apostle Paul said, look, you know, I would rather you be like me. No, Paul wasn't dealing with no woman. He was, you know, he was married to the mission, so to speak. But you're not going off if you do want a woman. It's better to marry than to burn. All right, but hey, you gonna fuck around and have trouble in the flesh, like the Apostle Paul said, dealing with these women. They're designed to extract from you. They're designed to, you know, want to take your resources and then play the victim. Man, she smelled good. She smelled real good. See? You know, hey, the Lord knew how to, hey, man. You know, how a woman smells, how she speaks, you know, how she moves, how she walks and stuff, man. It's enticing to a man. All right, the Lord designed it to be that way. But again, these women are not being women right now. I'll get verse 13 to 14, you know, just to show the balance. It says, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. You know, women have a beautiful purpose of guiding the house. You know, it's crucial. But are these women fulfilling their purpose right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Verse 14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. You know, when they have a mind that's instructed, man, it's a beautiful thing. You know, but we're not in the position right now to be recipients of that. We'll get it in the kingdom. And we'll see it a little bit, you know, in Isaiah 4:1. You know, again, when the Lord strips the vintage away from you women. You know, and that's what I'm gonna actually finish off on. Here in Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear to my speech." All right? You women have been absolutely at ease. Again, this society, in a sense, was designed to benefit you. You know, you go into the design of a city, which is all, you know, manufactured by men. All right, but it's designed for the leisure of you women. You know, all the cafes, all the nail salons, all the hairdressers, all the brunch spots. You know, it's Sunday. These women are getting up, they going to brunch. You know, they're going to drink mimosas and talk about, you know, and gossip and bullshit. You know, nothing really productive, you know. All believing in their beauty that does fade. Verse 10, "Many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." Exactly, the vintage is going to fail. All right, the video I did yesterday, man, fast food is getting out of hand. All right, meanwhile, you got Drake out here selling you a false illusion. Drake is out here selling you a false illusion that, you know, there's always going to be a baller ready to come spin it on you, man. What Young Miami say, spin that shit. You know, hey, even that song, man, it's putting a mind on our women to, like, only see men, you know, as mechanisms to extract from. You know, spin that shit. Go in that go-yard bag, nigga, spin that shit. You want to talk to me, spin that shit. You want to fuck me, spin that shit. That shows you our women are for sale. To the highest bidder. All right, but the vintage is failing, the gathering shall not come. All right, how are you women gonna move when there's no more food in the grocery stores? How are you gonna move when 911 no longer works? You can't just call 911 on a man. How are you gonna move? You think you're gonna be fucking Billy Badass Wonder Woman out here? Fuck no. You know? Even the women that got guns and shit, man. You don't got the spirit. You don't have a warrior spirit on you. You're a woman. The Lord created you to be a woman. You're supposed to be soft and sweet. You know? It's like natural cane sugar compared to Splenda. You know, you women have a false sense of masculinity on you. You know, and it comes from all these different men you slept with. Because again, contrary to popular belief, a woman isn't supposed to be out here sleeping with multiple men. Verse 11, "Trouble you women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins." You know? It says, "They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines." Yeah, you're going to wish things were back how they used to be. You know? Back when you can get a nigga to cash app you, you know, back when you had niggas all on your OnlyFans. All that is about to go bye-bye. And the food, and your security, which is going to lead to Isaiah 4:1, 7 women taking hold of one man. You know, all that, you know, one man, one woman shit is about to be out the window. Because if that's the case, you know, men that, you know, brothers that are in this truth, all right, they're going to have women coming up on them and shit. You know, hey, man, I'm going to flip that psychology back on them. I thought you was only supposed to say, you know, I thought it was only supposed to be one man, one woman. They're not going to give a fuck in that day because they want your protection. They want to be called by your name to take away their reproach. These are the times that we're in. Again, don't let Drake fool you women, man. The vintage is failing. Okay, all you women not about to have a damn baller out here and shit like that just pay for everything for you. That's not happening. That's not about to happen, man. But Lord willing, this is edifying. Not to beat a dead horse. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.